everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. I'm going to have to include somehow a little bonus feature called the refueling of Leica. When I was messing around in the VAB, I calculated this thing's delta V by emptying all its fuel. Unfortunately, I completely neglected to put the fuel back in, so we had to have a little refuel mission set up. In fact, there's the fuel tug right there. But Leica is now ready to service its way to Duna. So we're going to go ahead and get it set up for orbital operations and departure to Duna. Extend those panels. While that is occurring, we will look for a maneuver. Hopefully all these launches haven't put us too late. A maneuver somewhere about here. Somewhere about there. Escape velocity at the very least. As much along the orbital plane as I can muster. Like that. Duna is set as our target, so that's good. And when we look at this, let's see what our maneuver looks like, or our rendezvous looks like. Our rendezvous says we're coming in behind the target, but we should be able to do a mid-course correction here at the ascending node, since we have to do an ascending node fix of 0.1 degrees anyway, and then we can fix the rest of that. So we are once again doing all this live on my live stream. Definitely subscribe if you want to know when I do live streaming, because I oftentimes don't know when I'm doing live streaming. Oftentimes it's pretty much, hey, I have time to live stream today, and I'll send out a Twitter, and I'll send out a Google Plus, and it'll be, we're starting live streaming in a half an hour. Hello, Electromagnetic. Welcome back to the channel. We are taking this thing to land on Duna and establish, hopefully, what will hopefully be a permanent base. So, with that all set, our crew is on board and ready to go. If I remember correctly, okay, these engines are indeed off, right? Yes. If I remember correctly, it's going to be something like a 7-minute burn, even though it's only saying it's going to be 252, which doesn't make sense to me. We'll start at 5 minutes till. So we're just going to fast forward around until we're at 5 minutes away from this burn. Yes, to my international viewers, I stream between midnight and 4 a.m. typically. Although today I did start at 10 o'clock in the morning my time, which is like dinner time around there. Okay, we have a high enough orbit where we can actually do a test burn. Yep, it's going to be 7.5 minutes of burn time. It's a good thing we have about 1,500 seconds of fuel in this. So we'll start this burn at 3:45 and let her go. Have a lot of my favorite live stream participants with me today, again, and I really appreciate it. Makes these kind of missions a lot of fun. I've gotten a lot of good feedback as I, make mistakes, and I'm like, why the hell did that happen? And they'll point out something simple and something stupid that I completely missed. When you look at complicated things like this, it's really easy to miss one stupid little thing. Goodbye, fueling tug debris. Goodbye, fueling tug. Goodbye, Kerbal. We are burning our way out of here. We'll be crossing our periapsis, which is going to be a mere 80 kilometers. So this is going to be a nice, longish burn. That's for sure. Game Nut is trapped on having dinner with his mother on Mother's Day during our Duna injection burn. That sucks. I feel for you, man. So the taping of this happened on Mother's Day, which was, as of the airing of this, probably a month ago. I did do something really clever this morning. I got my daughter up. I had her write a quick card that said, "Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Go look in the mailbox." Then in the mailbox was a link to a YouTube video, an unlisted YouTube video that Mariah and I recorded, in which we told Mom, "Happy Mother's Day" in person. Mariah drew a picture with some flowers on it. I don't even have it anymore. And then we told her to go look in a particular place in the house where she found some of her favorite kinds of flowers for Mother's Day. So that was extra super sweet. This thing looks like a battleship. I mean, it looks like it's ready to go to war. Only 6 minutes left on this burn. That's interesting that Mother's Day was last week or the previous in Spain. So Mother's Day, I guess occurs on different days in different countries. Makes sense, really. Okay, you know what? Oh, you know what? I brought all that monopropellant up here. I didn't even think about transferring it into my tank. I could have had more monopropellant available. And that's part of the reason I put monopropellant on this thing. So we got a cash advance for a mission to to land and plant a flag on Ike, and that was the only way we could afford to bring up fuel to this particular mission. Otherwise, we didn't have enough money to actually even launch a fuel tug. Having burned through so much of my cash. I'm no longer going to follow the maneuver node. I'm just going to continue the thrust prograde until such time as this burn time has expired. Sergio is asking if I want to land on Ike with this ship, and the answer is no. With this particular ship, I'm not going to land on Ike. What I might do is just take the cash penalty for missing Ike. Depends on how long that mission runs for. I might be able to still do it with another launch at a later time. But as it is right now, I don't even think I have enough money to launch a second mission to Duna. So even though my burn vector is deflected by about 10 degrees, the most efficient way to burn is on the prograde marker usually. So we're going to go ahead and do that at the very least for curb and escape, if not for most of this burn time. We'll watch that. We'll watch this accelerometer to see how close we're getting to the delta V required. Unfortunately, we're burning on the dark side of the planet, which means it's kind of boring to watch. I mean, this would have been really nice if I could do it in the sunlight. So all you get to see is a shadow of this ship burning away on the dark side of the planet. Campbell Jackson has joined the channel. Hello, Campbell. So let me sum up what we're doing. We're landing a permanent base on Duna in the form of this thing. This is the twin nuclear engine interplanetary stage. Here's the Sky Crane. Sky Crane will disconnect, reconfigure, connect there, which is the center of mass for this thing, and this whole thing will drop down. It's going to be pretty awesome. So right now we have lots of lines pointing in various directions, but the main idea is We burn this way for about 3 more minutes, and then we leave Kerbin's sphere of influence. There's Moon. Everyone say hi, Moon. Campbell, I have plenty of ideas on how to get to the moon. But rather than explain, it's kind of hard to explain quickly here. Honestly, you probably have the best time going through my previous episodes and watching those, as I think I reached... Anyone know what episode I reached Moon in? If they take a look at my YouTube channel and go through the episodes that are posted right now, see if I've reached Moon yet. Today being Mother's Day, the last episode that came out is episode 7. I keep a calendar, by the way, of all my releases. Episode 7 is the last episode that came out. Yeah, okay, there you go. Campbell, check out episode 5 or 6. If you get a chance, after joining us on the live stream here. That's where I did my moon mission, and there's a bonus feature that shows you the build for the whole rocket that I made. You can take a look at the tech tree that I had available. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Sergio has it on the notes. He said if you watch his building videos, you get a lot of info. So that's one of the main reasons I make sure and keep my build videos available. Oh, too bad we're not headed that direction. Oh man, that moon assist would be so cool. It's the wrong way, Moon. Sorry. Episode 6 and 7, as says Fun Guy. Welcome back, Fun Guy. Episode 6 and 7 is the moon landing and return. Or is it episode 6 is the launch and episode 7 is the landing? Episode 7's gotta return, include the return, because it's a Friday feature. And I wouldn't leave you guys hanging over the weekend for the return. That would be mean. That would be cruel and unusual punishment, and I would totally understand if you unsubbed to my channel if I left you hanging like that. Alright, we got a Kerbal escape. We're going to go ahead and end the burn there, and we will just warp out to... Oh my gosh, I haven't started a timer. Don't know how long this episode's been going. Oh well. It's just the burn, so we know it's been 7 minutes. We'll call it 10 minutes. So once again, we're off traversing our way to Duna. Angel Banana Cat has joined the channel. Hello, Angel. We are leaving Kerbin's sphere of influence on this tugboat. And our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to reach Duna. But now that I've just barely left Kerbin's sphere of influence, I can actually try and find a better maneuver for this Duna encounter that I want. Aha, look at that. Bingo. Closest approach. Let's lock up these numbers here. Encounter. All we need to do is do a node fix. Beautiful. So, let's warp to our next maneuver. This is going to be a 3-minute, 49-second burn, so we'll start it at about minute 45? Yeah. Oops, I'm late. I'm late for a very important burn. Boom, nuclear engines go. Straight that way. So, there it is, our little tiny home. Goodbye, Kerbal, Kerbin, that's what it's called. Kerbin, the planet of Kerbin. Take that microphone a little bit further away from my face so I don't pop it. So now we have another 3 minutes and 20 seconds worth of burn or so to bring our apoapsis up to a point where we find ourselves in contact with Duna. Yeah, I didn't need this middle fuel cell whatsoever. I could have gotten away with just 2,500 units or 2,250 of liquid fuel in just these two things and left them full. Well, now I know for future stuff. This is a space bus trip with no return. These guys are planning on establishing the first permanent base on Duna. They're going to land there, and they're going to stay there. And that is going to be Jebediah's new home for the foreseeable future. You know, I need to make a crew transfer vehicle that's capable of reaching... Actually, I think our current crew transfer vehicle is probably capable of reaching, landing on, and departing from Invis. Especially if I give it a bigger launch stage. Here we are in the cupola. Let's go ahead and just zoom down here and take a look at our 8-ball and get ourselves right on the money. No. Boink. Okay. About another minute 40 on this thing. So what we're doing right now is we're thrusting. We're adding velocity to, we're already out of Kerbal's sphere of influence. We're adding velocity to raise our periapsis to make for a Duna encounter. We've got a twin set of nuclear engines, burning liquid fuel only from this center fuel tank. These are just structural to make the thing look pretty. So yeah, launching the original configuration without the oxidizers would have been a whole lot of stuff. What buildings am I going to have in the Duna base? I do eventually want to have, basically I want a fully functional base at some point. I think Season 2 will be working on expanding the base. But the idea in my head is there will be a research. We have this base, which will be a main place. Then we'll maybe have a main crew area, like with a habitat. We'll have a science rover that just roves around with all the scientific experiments and can grab science from everywhere. Has a seat for Kerbals to sit on and go driving around. We are almost done with this burn, by the way. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, cutoff. How'd we do? We have an encounter. Our next maneuver is a plane change fix at the ascending node. So the ascending node means we need to face orbit antinormal. We have enough battery power, no problem with that. Here it is. Dun 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 da Duna. Where it is? Where it is? Where it is, Duna? Where are you hiding? You planet? Oh, that's pretty. But seriously, where's Duna hiding? It's away from the sun, and it's pretty. Oh, there it is, right there. There's Duna. Let's go ahead and fast forward to this encounter. Encounter in 2 days. Alright, this is what we call a terrible flyby situation. Let's go orbit normal. Which is more south than north, which is what I want, right? Yes. I'm going to bend this thing around to a useful thing. So we're changing our plane. Changing our orbital plane so that we're coming in a nice prograde orbit. You know, I was a poor student once as well, and I learned some amazing things to do with top ramen. That came out really good. Like, things that are amazing enough to get you laid. That's how good they are. It really comes down to the fact that, think about this. The broth, bonk, because I hit my antenna, the broth from Top Ramen, if you don't necessarily like the broth, or the broth from Top Ramen, when it's all done, is depending on which flavor you got, it's either a beef stock or a chicken stock or a shrimp stock if you have shrimp flavored Top Ramen. So if you want to make something that uses Top Ramen as the main ingredient and it's really, really, really yummy, cook up the Top Ramen like you normally would. Drain off the liquid, set it aside. You need that for later. Then you want a couple of decent vegetables. They don't have to be super extravagant. You can get like one zucchini and one carrot, one large carrot. Cut those up, saute them in a pan with a little bit of butter or cooking oil or whatever. And then you'll put those on top of the Top Ramen noodles. And then just a little bit of meat. It doesn't take a lot to make this look really taste really good. In fact, you can use inexpensive meats that are mass-produced meats that are in like you could use kosher hot dogs and cut those along the diagonal and make a little hot dog slices. You could use a little bit of beef or a little bit of chicken breast. Any affordable meat that you have that you can get a hold of. Just cut it into small chunks. Chunks about this big, and then saute them up as well. Now, in the pan that you've just cooked the meat in and the vegetables, you get that stuff, put it on the Top Ramen, put it in your oven to keep warm for a little bit. In that pan, throw a tablespoon of butter or oil of some kind. Butter's the best. A tablespoon of flour. Get that that's going to turn into a roux. Basically, it's going to become a thick paste in the pan. And then slowly add the Top Ramen the Top Ramen stock until you get a nice, you want a thick sauce. You don't want a gravy, but if you get a nice thick sauce out of that, it'll take probably half a cup to a cup of that liquid to do so. Then you get a thick sauce, and you put the noodles on, put the vegetables on top, put the meat on top, little drizzle of sauce to flavor, and it comes out amazing. That's how I learned to eat. Crashed mid-comment. Okay, well, anyway, enough rambling on. Let us face radial in and get this periapsis tuned up, and then we're going to call this episode to a close. And we'll do the orbital insertion and landing. What do we got here? Oh, another contract that failed because we didn't do it in time. So we're going radial in. Pretty standard procedure for us. Okay. And we just burn that way to bring the periapsis down to our orbital height, I want to say of 70 kilometers is a nice operational orbital height. For Duna. There's 400 kilometers, 300 kilometers. There's a icon counter, X. There we go. Okay. We'll get retrograde here. While Jeb is piloting this thing retrograde, We will call this episode to a close. If you're here live, stick around. There's more to come. I'm going to check the footage really quick, make sure everything's looking good. But in the next episode, we're inserting ourselves into orbit and beginning our landing, if not completing it at that point. So definitely tune in for that. That is going to be this mission is the end of season 1 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program 1.1. So anyway, like I said, if you're watching the episodes, tune in next time, probably tomorrow when the episode comes out. Thanks for watching. If you're here live, stick around. There's more to come.